In this video, I'm challenging you to get your kit out. Full titles. Hi YouTube, Brian James, I'm Maker 4/3 guy with you once again, and yes, I've got a challenge for you. I want you to get your kit out. Not get your kit off. I'm not that sort of photographer. No, but get your kit out. What do I mean by that? Well, I've got a bag full of gear, Maker 4/3 gear, lenses. I've got a couple of bags full of Maker 4/3 gear, lenses and camera bodies and things, and they're wonderful. I've got some really good kit, and I thoroughly enjoy using it. But I've found that I tend to use the similar sort of stuff all the time. I'm using my G100 here with my 12-32 f3.5 to 5.6 pancake zoom lens on here. I've got my little Lumix G8, which I use a lot, and it's got the new 12-32 f3.5 to 5.6, so it's basically the same lens but in fancy silver. But I've got bags full of kit which I very rarely use, and I guarantee that you've probably got the same specialist lenses that you'll use once in a while, or something which was a really good buy at the time, but well, you've either got something which covers that range or has superseded it or whatever it is, and it sits in the bag doing nothing, taking up space and not earning its value at all. There's going to be a rather loud BMW going past in a moment. Yes, I wonder what else he got for Christmas. However, one of those things, I opened my camera back up today, and one of those things was this. This is my Sigma 60mm DN lens. It's one of the art range, but it's a DN 60mm f2.8 lens. And I bought this. It was really inexpensive. Not cheap. Not cheap. There's a difference between inexpensive and cheap. This was inexpensive when I bought it. I think it was about £130 brand new. And it's a fantastic little lens. It really is good. It's a lens which is available for various platforms. I think I did a review in the early days up there. I'll put a link to it. Unusual little lens, having a very smooth sort of focus ring on it this way, but really good bit of kit. You can get it. It goes on aps-c cameras as well as Maker 4/3, depending on which mount you buy. I can't put this one on aps-c because the mount is fixed to the back. But a really good quality lens, pin sharp, really good, and really good contrast. So why is it sitting in my camera bag? Well, I used to use it quite often when I was doing portraits. I was doing headshots. I found that using a 60mm, which is equivalent to a 120 on full frame for the angle of view, when I was using this on there, if I wanted a really tight headshot, it was a wonderful lens, because with 60mm on this 120 full frame equivalent, they keep a good working relationship to the subject where I wasn't too close and wasn't too far away. The 60mm got me a really tight headshot. I used to use my 45mm, which is equivalent to a 90mm, for the more upper body, the torso and head sort of shots on that. And that was very good. And if I wanted something more full body, I would be using a 25mm or a zoom to do whatever I want. So I don't do many portraits at all. I don't do many portraits at all now. Very rarely. So this is sort of languished in the bag. So I decided what I was going to do is I was going to get this out today, and I'm going to stick it on my GX8. So I'm just going to change over the lenses here, stick it on the GX8, and this one's got a little white spot rather than a red spot to find out where to put it. And it's got the lens hood which came up with it on. You can see the lens generally there. I'll stick a better sort of photo of it on there. Good bayonet mount lens hood, if I can get it on straight. That's it. So it's on there. Good little dust cover, dust cap. Actually, the Sigma ones really are good quality. I'm really impressed with that. Isn't it strange how something as simple as a lens cap can make you feel that something's better quality? It's a little bit thicker and a little bit grippier on the squeezy bits. But yeah, I'm going to take a few photos of this. I'm not going to put them up here necessarily, but I'm going to take a few photos of this. But my point of this is really very simple. We've got gear, most of us, which we rarely ever use, and it sits languishing, and it does deserve to be taken out every so often, not just for the gear's point of view, but also for yours, for your own point of view. Because we become a little bit lazy, we become a little bit used to things, and taking a lens which you haven't used for a while, or a camera body you haven't used for a while out. Camera bodies are harder, you've got to charge the batteries up and things. Usually we have different batteries for different cameras. I know I've got half a dozen camera bodies, and can't think of one which shares batteries with another. Isn't that strange? Half a dozen ones, only from 2 manufacturers, and none of them share the batteries. However, taking a camera body out, you might have to charge the batteries up, but do it. Just get them out, put it through the rigmarole, relearn that bit of kit. Use the kit, use this. I'm going to be using this lens, I'm going to be just taking a few little shots around in a few months. If I do any, I'll put them up the end, but I'm not going to guarantee doing any. But if there are any, they'll be at the end of this video, so keep watching. But I'm going to do this, and what I'm going to do, this is leading into my next video, so you'll find out in the next video where this has got a significance. But I'm going to start using this more and more often, because I need to get the value from my gear, but also I need to keep myself familiar how that gear operates. Yes, I know a lens, a prime lens, it's not a difficult thing to operate. You put it on the camera, it's got one control for the focus, and that's it. Well, actually it's more than that, because you need to get used to how that lens does operate. You need to work out not only about the focus, but you need to work out about this minimum focusing distance, so that you get that into your head, so you're ready for a shot when it comes up. You need to understand about how that lens's characteristics are. Does it vignette? Does it have chromatic aberration? Does it have pincushion or any of the other distortions that you get? Is it really good for doing really nice bokeh shots because it's got a particularly open aperture, or is it something which doesn't go particularly fast? Is it something which distorts badly when you start putting it down to f11, f16, f22, whatever? They've all got their own little characteristics, and it's worth learning what those characteristics are, and they're in your head, so that when you go to take that shot, you just take it and you're ready for it. So have a look through your camera gear. Drop me a comment below if you would, as to what you've got hidden away in your camera bag which you never use. I'm really interested to see what people have in their equipment which they never ever use, because I've got quite a bit. I mean, see, I've got this. I was just going through the bag before. I've got this Sigma, which I've just said. I've got a 40 to 150, the aps-c Olympus lens, the plastic fantastic one. Cracking little lens, but because it's covered by other zoom ranges, I rarely ever use it. I've got obviously the 225mm lenses, but I've started using the Olympus more than the Lumix, and the Lumix is languishing in the bag. So that's another one. I've got the 7 to 14 f4 Lumix lens, which is a cracking zoom lens, and not a cheap bit of kit either. But I don't use it that often, because it's not sitting on the normal photography I'm doing from day to day. I'll get it out occasionally, but what I need to do is get it out more often and challenge myself to using it. So let me know, as I say, in the comments below, as to what you've got languishing in your camera bag. Do you have cameras? I have my EM1 Mark I sitting in the camera bag. It's a cracking bit of kit I've done. It's gone halfway around the world with me, but it hasn't really had the opportunity to be used recently. And I've had the exercise of charging its batteries up ready, but I still haven't taken it out. I've got the G1 which I bought, which was a fun thing. I mean, it wasn't meant as an expensive purchase, but it is something to take out and just play with and enjoy. All 12 megapixels of it, but you know, that's part of the fun of photography. And this is what it's about, the fun. Let me know what you've got that sits in your camera bag and why you don't use it in the comments below. But until the next time, I'm going to thank my patrons of this channel who are there. And they're the wonderful people. If you want to become a patron of the channel, there's 2 different levels, and there's a link below where you can sign up for the Patreon channel, and I thank you all for doing that, because it does keep the channel going. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, then there's a link below for to buy me a cup of coffee if you want to do that on a PayPal. And it's the usual sort of like and subscribe and all that sort of rubbish, but it really does help the channel now that I've got over 9,000 subscribers, so thank you. But until the next time, keep on taking your gear out, keep on grabbing your unused gear out and using it a bit more. Get your kit out, get your kit on your camera, and let's start taking some photographs and have fun with your photos. See you next time. Bye bye.